Which, while we're on the topic, Stipe's going to get butt-fucked by Jon Jones.
Yeah.
What if he knocks him out?
That would be awesome.
No, it wouldn't.
Wouldn't be awesome for Jon Jones fans like us, but it would be awesome for Stipe Miocic.
That would be awesome for him. Yeah, very much would be.
Maybe I'm doubting him way more than I should be, but I really don't see a chance for Stipe here.
No, I know.
When was the last time he's fought, and how old is he?
I didn't know how this popped. Stipe was probably just sitting at home fucking eating soup or something. It was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Jon fucking Jones.
I think all he doesn't have teeth.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, August 12th, 2024, years after zero, episode 15 of In the Clinch. And as always, before we move forward, we must go back. What is the card this weekend called? 305, which we already had a problem with. A gripe, if you must say.
Where should 305 be?
The 305. Like UFC 702 will be in Vegas, I would assume, you know? But nonetheless, I don't know why they would
thinking
pick us.
far ahead there.
Yeah, that's the next zip code that I know.
Where will 619 be?
San Diego, home of Rey Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio headlines it.
Yep. But 305 is in Australia, Perth, I believe. Not to get too specific. What's DDP's nationality? South African?
Yeah.
So he's the champion, but has to go into Australia and fight where Izzy's from, I guess.
I have a problem with that.
That's kind of weird.
A couple of I was going to mention that as well, but just might as well get into that.
Not that there's a home field advantage type of deal, but it's just weird.
Because Whitaker was supposed to fight Hamzat in Abu Dhabi, and Hamzat pulled out like he always does. Like, yeah, I mean, they say he was really sick. It might not be his fault, but like when it's every time, it's kind of like, come on.
Right, yeah, exactly.
I mean, every single time, it's not his fault, but it's like, dude, come on. But anyway, they're supposed to fight in Abu Dhabi. I think they should be on this card to replace it. It's soon. Whitaker's healthy. He's fine. All that stuff. And it's kind of like, well, I was going to fight in your, like I signed up to fight in your territory and actually did. And against a guy that people were saying could be tougher than you. And I knocked him the fuck out. Now you come to my house, but he's going back to his house again. And it's just kind of like they're catering. Okay, you stay home. Don't move. We'll come to you. And, oh, you pulled out? The same guy will come right back to you after beating something like.
Yeah.
We're not going to reward Whitaker at all.
There's no sort of punishment or reward.
If Whitaker and Hamzat fought and Whitaker did what he did to Ikram to him, Whitaker's fighting for the belt.
Yeah, exactly.
But because he did it to Ikram, it's like, that meant nothing. We're just going to have you fight Hamzat.
Yeah, basically they told him that you're just fighting just to fight.
But Whitaker's and the thing is, that's the perfect guy because he's like, he said before, he doesn't even necessarily care about the belt. He's like, I just want to beat all the best fighters in the world, and that'll make me the best fighter.
Right.
I don't care if it's for the belt or not. So that's why they just kind of picked the right guy to do this to.
Yeah, because if he was making a stink about it, obviously it wouldn't work, and I think he'd have very good, what's the word? He'd be okay with me to be like, hey, fuck this, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So if he comes in and beats me, then he's just going to fight for the belt after I've had to, if he drops out another time and he fights again and wins, it's like, okay, so is this for, like...
That just sucks because he is. Like, he could drop out again, and then Whitaker, that fight, let's say the fight gets canceled the week of, and then they push it to January, and Whitaker's like, all right, and
right.
They fight in January, and then Hamzat beats him. It's like, oh, you fight for the belt now. It's like, what?
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't make sense. But before this, UFC 304 was the one card I want to get into, and then the one fight night with Sandhagen. I'll have to be the first to say it again. 4 straight bets I think I've lost. Thought Leon would finish Belal in the last round when it looked like he was like, oh, wait, I'm actually fighting this guy. It looked like what I thought he would have fought like the whole fight. Ended up pretty much just getting his ass kicked in terms of Belal just fucked him, picked him up and slammed him literally on the top of his head. I don't know if I've ever seen that from anybody before. And now, one of the 2 guys that I hate the most in the UFC happens to be the champion, so I got to give him hats off for that. But I did talk to Danny. I don't know if I said it to you, Billy. I think it's really fucking stupid that they're just fighting at like 4 a.m. in England. Like, I mean, I don't know if it's just a thing to curtail to either, because even the East Coast, it's like, yeah, it's still 10, 11 o'clock there. But like, I wouldn't mind if the card was at 3 p.m. or the main fight, and they're fighting at 11 in England, because it's like, it is kind of like 4 a.m. It's just weird, like.
Well, I think if they start at midnight, we watch it at 4, and then the East Coast gets it at prime time, 7 p.m. main card, like we always do over here in the West. So it's like, what's wrong with that one? Midnight, the main card ending, the main fight being at 1:30 is like, it's still not ideal and great.
It'll be like 2:30.
It's way better. No, it's only like an hour and a half to 2
No.
hours into it, I would say.
Well, they had the one in, what was it, Singapore, where they did it local time, right?
And
It
it was 5 a.m. for us.
Yeah.
But I think something happened with the pay-per-view space is what I allegedly, the pay-per-view space, it was supposed to be at a certain day. It got moved, and there was already something going on with the pay-per-view subscriptions at a different time, so they couldn't change it to be earlier or something like that.
Well, they asked Dana. They were like, next time you come here, can we fight at not 3? And then he was like, probably not. He's like, we're going to be fighting here at 3 a.m, it seems like.
I just don't get that. And I mean, with Leon, like you said, it would feel weird. Like, imagine you're getting up, if you get up to go work out, you eat breakfast, you go to, it's noon, whatever, you're like, I'm going to go work out. That's a lot different than being like, hey, it's 3:30 in the morning. You have to go fully fight a guy.
It's like Billy said, the Singapore thing. Also, the Abu Dhabi thing. Abu Dhabi cards are always at 11 a.m. or 12 here because it's primetime Abu Dhabi time. I think it's just a money thing where...
Is King Charles not paying enough?
Yeah, I would just prefer the guys to be fresh.
I do think it is a money thing where it's like, well, our pay-per-view sales are higher in the States when we fight here in England, but the total money made, because I doubt the pay-per-view sales are higher in Abu Dhabi, but he's probably like the king or his majesty gives us $10 million straight out of his pocket, so like we're going to do that. You know what I mean?
His majesty.
That's what they call him. I don't know.
Is it not your majesty?
And then they take his hand. Did you see that?
Yeah, that was fucking weird. Did you see that? The guy like grabbed Dana White's hand and was like literally like grabbed him like.
He was like this.
And started walking with him, and Dana like took it. And he was probably just like, you know what? This guy tries to bang me. He's giving me so much money.
Yeah.
I probably have to let him.
This guy's so rich. Dana just didn't even do anything about it.
But yeah, any thoughts from you guys on the main event? I know we kind of got to go a little quick, but Belal, Leon, what did you guys think?
I just did not expect Leon to perform
look that
like
bad.
that.
He does look like he doesn't give a fuck. No matter, even when he was losing to Usman and shit, like he just looks very just stoic, like whatever. But
the only time he didn't was against Colby, but I think it's because Colby mentioned his dad.
But for sure.
Only time I saw
but
him
Belal, like, I don't know. I just feel like obviously he's going to be very disappointed with his performance, but it's not really like a game. It's not like an NBA where it's like, we lost a regular season game or one playoff game. It's like this was, you get one shot at this type of fight to defend your belt, and you did not come out and perform at all. What are you laughing at?
It's one shot, one opportunity.
He's 36 years old, Belal.
Yeah.
And Leon's 32. And
He was taller, younger, long. He was everything. He had everything going for him, but you know what? They can't measure heart, Dan. They always tell you that, didn't they?
Nope. Can't do it.
With that co-main event, Tom Aspinall knocked out Curtis Blades. Like, I'm fucking literally admitted into the fight. Right away, I was like, okay, Blades is he kind of was getting that jab through a little bit. It was very quick, obviously, how it happened. They went right at it, but Tom's power just was too much for...
Yeah, I saw someone say the stoppage was early, and then someone else said it to me, and I was like... And Tom Aspinall got asked that, and he said the best response. He was like, mate, I'm 265 pounds. I just dropped him with a 1-2, and I'm on his back, and he's not covering his head, and I'm punching him in the face 7 uncontested times. What else am I supposed to do?
Not even that, but like at what point... Because here's the thing is, I'm one of these guys who gives refs shit all the time to an extent of like, like the Izzy fight, I was kind of like, okay, he didn't go down, I know, whatever, but like, there's certain times where I'm like, you know what, especially a guy who's been a champion, and they tell you before the fight, like, let me go out, but like, that right there, I mean, he was literally laying on top of him like a gorilla, just punching his head in, both sides, like, I thought that was there was not one part of me that was like, maybe that was early, I was like, no, you have to stop that.
Yeah, easily. Him and Patty looked great. That was
the most impressive, I think, for me was Patty Pimblett for not what was expected, but the fight was pretty even money, 110.
He was underdog to start.
Yeah, he was the underdog to start.
That was one of my bets of the week, and I fucked it with Leon too.
Yeah, I had Leon in the distance. I think we all went 3-2 that card, right, Bill? You went 2-3. Oh well, tough for Bill, huh?
I know.
We'll get
3-2. I haven't been 3-2 in a long time.
We'll get the updated records before we do 305. Anything else for that card?
2-3 is kind of like 3-2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what I said last time?
Yeah.
Well, no. What I said was 3-2 compared to acting like you're fucking head and shoulders above someone. Because especially it was the Bueno Silva fight. She literally was kicking the shit out of that lady. It was every fight could be that way. But anything else for 304 that you guys had in mind? Like I said, I just don't think the time of the fights is very smart. Because you could tell after Leon said that, I was like, and I'm not saying it's an excuse, and he would have won if it wasn't at 3 a.m., but that definitely seemed like because he's never looked that bad. He always, like I said, looks like just even keeled, but he looked like he'd never fought before.
Nothing since not on 304. I think we touched on the 3 main fights, but Umar Nurmagomedov will be champion. I said that on the last in the clinch. If you go watch, and
Yeah.
I stand by that.
If Sean O'Malley leaves the division, that is.
Yeah, you didn't watch that fight though?
Don't need to.
Yeah, you said the Belal Leon. This guy was literally just picking Corey. Whenever he wanted to, he took Corey Sandhagen down.
Corey's no scrub.
Corey's great.
Yeah.
Corey's solid.
Corey, it wasn't like he's gonna finish him, he's gonna submit him, he's gonna knock him out. Like Corey was frustrated, but it was just like, dude, this guy can get me down whenever he wants.
He's very good, but I don't know. I mean, great is like he's a very good.
The Shara Bullet guy will not be a champion.
Shara, yeah, I don't know. He's very fun to watch. That's for sure.
He's gonna be awesome to watch as long as he's in the UFC, but he will not be the champ. And Figueiredo is also another guy that it's like, I don't know about you at bantamweight. You could be something special too.
Yeah, he was fucking Cheeto up. It was a good fight, but he just proved to be a little more.
It's just an interesting guy to have it. Bantamweight's so good. That's just another guy that's just like, wow.
The weird fight, not the weird fight, but after the fight with Tony Ferguson kind of half retiring, it's like, not in a rude way, but like, why do you even want to keep fighting?
Did you see what he said when he was walking out the arena? He's like talking to himself. He's like, I'm not done yet. There's work to be done. It's like,
well, Charles Bennett just won after a 21 fight losing streak.
21 fight lose. Who gave him an 11th fight after he lost 10?
And they said Tony's got 13 more to go, so he still has hope.
But didn't you, I think you said to me his record now is like 22-10.
It's 12-8 in his last 20.
Yeah, but like his record's still like 20. Well, I have it right here.
Yeah.
He was
26-11.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was it's 25-11.
So he's 25-3. Before
I have
he was-
26-11, brother.
And he was 25-3. Oh, I don't know.
Oh, he beat Conor McGregor.
No, he didn't.
Armbar, yeah, he did.
What are you talking about?
I just like to fuck with him. That was funny when LeBron got dunked on. I said, yeah, if Conor McGregor came out and scissor kicked LeBron when he got up, that'd be the only thing that could.
Yeah, Buscelli.
We'll get into that. We have to talk about the Olympics on the next press conference, but that guy.
12-fight win streak into 8-fight losing streak.
Yeah, so he said 12-8, and his record's still like I have 26-11. I don't know 25, 26.
25-11.
So the ESPN's wrong, and you're right.
Yeah.
I'm expecting to believe he's
Wikipedia's right.
I don't think so. We can't give the guy one more win.
What is it? Really
Oh, he
at?
beat Khabib. That's what it was.
UFC stats is 26-11.
Thank you. I see a lot of 26-11s there.
25-11 on this one. I mean,
The
can we figure
controversy
out?
we just opened up a can of worms with Tony Ferguson here, guys. Fucking.
We figure out why this guy's 25-11 on some sites and 26 on the other.
Regardless of this 8-fight losing streak, it does kind of isn't there really any way he was going to beat Khabib
In his prime
In his
day?
prime.
Probably not, but it's just something you never really
Sucks
know.
you never got to see it though.
Right, and it was so... How old is this fucker?
Well, when I look back at it, he was going to fight Khabib
I mean, he's 40 years old.
around the time that he fought Pettis, and he did not convincingly beat Pettis. And I know it's like, well, Pettis is no scrub. It's like, yeah, but if you can't... Like, what would Khabib do against Pettis?
I think it's more of a
He
thing
was
of...
RDA
They have to... And I have a question about this, but I think it's more of a thing of the UFC does this thing where they like... there's Dana White's a fucking natural-born salesman. He's got to make you think, hey... Yeah, this guy could beat Khabib. I mean, realistically, though, like you said, guys who are probably better. I mean, Tony Ferguson, especially the way he's looked recently, I'm not going to hold that against him. But even at that time, he wasn't fucking beating Khabib probably, unless either something crazy happened, like a knockout.
Yeah, but it's hard to say, though, because this
No, that's
is
what
at
I'm
a time
saying.
where when they were supposed to fight, Khabib was probably 25 and Tony was 33. It's like that's like pretty prime to Tony. You're maybe a bit early and you might be at the end of your prime. Whereas, we're looking at Tony in the last 8 fights where it's just like, and this is also post ACL tear. So that's a big one too.
And
Well-
Tony too was crazy enough where it's like most guys fight on their back foot. He's like, take me down if you want. I enjoy it. Because it's like Charles finished him on the ground.
Yeah.
With that nasty armbar he had on him.
So he was expected to fight him on 2015.
There was a couple.
9 years ago. Wow.
There was a couple submissions there where he should have tapped out, or I mean, he was screaming when someone had his leg basically turned around. I don't know how the fuck he got out of that. Oliveira had his arm backwards.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously give him credit for not tapping out, but there were a lot of fights where it's like this guy just got dog in him, but that doesn't mean you're.
Sometimes you got to put dog down.
Yeah, that's what and I think it's time. Like I said, I love Tony Ferguson, but especially like you're losing to guys like Chiesa and shit. Like, what's he going to come back? If he was like, hey, I'm going to come back and fight Conor McGregor, it's like for money, but like he's not climbing up the ladder.
Well, now he's not even cutting weight. He's fighting at 170.
Yeah, but also now he's not even on a card like that where it was not a pay-per-view, none of that stuff. He was opening the main card. Like, you could have retired as like the co-main. He could have retired after Nate Diaz.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And been like, I was the main event, but it's over for me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I mean, he just has that, like, it's almost to that point where it's like, for me even, and I'm like a big fan of his and shit, and I was like, okay, I just want to see him get one more win. I'm like, dude, just fucking stop. Like,
I want to see you
what are you
not
gonna
get one
do?
more loss way more than I want to see
And even
you.
if he beat Michael Chiesa, it's like, in his head, he'd be like, see, now take one more step up. And it's like, you're
yeah,
not
that's the
gonna
thing.
do
You want to
anything.
see him get one more win, but let's say he beat Chiesa, he'd be like, okay.
Yeah, he wouldn't have done the same.
He wouldn't have been like, I won, I'm
going
gonna retire on this win.
Ooh, there's an interesting fight.
I just don't get it. I think it's just his job, and he's crazy.
I think
like
he's
Pat told
crazy,
me,
and
he
then
goes,
it's his job.
What's Tony Ferguson going to do afterwards? Can you imagine him opening a gym?
He's not going to train.
The hours would be from 3
He's not going to work at
7,
fucking GameStop.
Yeah.
30 a.m.
He's
He'd show up randomly.
Yeah, you get a text alert when he's awake and doing what he's doing to come to his gym.
I'm going to pick you up right now on my ATV. And they're like, what the
Yeah,
fuck are you
like,
talking
dude,
about?
I
have
just-
school in the morning.
Yeah, it's 4:30 in the morning. But
I had a guy at my job one day ask me if I practice witchcraft, and I could just see Tony doing something like that in the gym, and you're like,
how or why did that happen?
He does. He. This is briefly after he told me he did meth for 25 years, so I was like, yeah, that adds up. And
Well, what are you doing? Where do you think you're doing
well,
witchcraft?
my uncle gets out of the trailer with him. And he goes, "This dude just asked me if I do fucking witchcraft." I was like, "What?" And I thought maybe Michael geared the conversation in a way, and then I was just sitting in there, and he was like, "Yeah, you know," he was like, he said, "I'm sure you practice witchcraft," and I was like, "Well, that's a bit weird to assume that."
What is that? What is practicing witchcraft?
I don't
even
know.
entail? Like,
I don't.
the only thing I know about witches is they ride brooms and like make spells.
He
but,
didn't.
like,
Well, he drove a car to the door.
Well, practicing witchcraft is just doing witchcraft, right?
But
which
like,
is what?
no, you can't succeed in it, so it's kind of hard to say doing.
That's what I'm saying. Like doing what? You're just mixing stuff together and
Like
calling
He
it
just got
potions?
cinnamon and confetti in his bowl, and
Yeah,
he's just
that's-
like,
I don't understand what that means. That no
Like the
wonder.
Undertaker.
that's what I wanted to say. He was like, "Do you practice witchcraft?" I want to be like, "Oh, well, no one does."
Yeah, I mean, what? They're hiring at that place. I don't know. How do you even get an interview there and not get hired if those type of people are getting in there?
I don't know.
I just noticed here for 305, Adesanya or Duplessis, they both have African flags. Not that I care about where the fight's at, but I thought this was like they're doing this like in Australia. I just feel like for 305, this was weird.
Should have done this in Africa.
Or like I said, where they fucked up was they didn't do Africa when they had Ngannou, Usman, and Adesanya.
As the champs.
But I do have a question that I saw. I can't remember who it was talking, and they were like, "Is the UFC kind of doing too many cards and events to where it's like instead of having a card where I feel like, and obviously it's a money grab thing to an extent, but like Leon and Belal on this card, like that's kind of like like 5-10 years ago. I don't really know if that's a headline or it's just they're the Leon's a champ, but like I feel like they're trying to do events every weekend, and then like these fight nights, like if they took
You're
one or
saying
two
it's
of those,
taking away? Yeah.
if they took one or two of those away and put like Sandhagen and whoever on a
you could put a
fucking-
better card
on
together.
a made like what do you call it, a pay-per-view? Yeah, like so especially for the talent they have. I mean, really, there's more fighters, but I just feel
Yeah,
like,
but when it comes down to headliners for pay-per-view, and you got what you got. Like right now, their guy's Pereira, and like you got to think right now, the biggest salesmen in the UFC's history are Conor McGregor, Ronda Rousey, Brock Lesnar, Jorge Masvidal in his prime when he was at the top, Nate Diaz, and honestly, Habib is up there as well. Jon Jones. None of those 7 guys have fought this year.
right. That's part of it, but like I said, I'm
It's
just
nothing really the UFC can do with main cards on pay-per-views when your top 7 guys. I think there probably, if you look back at it, there probably hasn't been a year where none of those 7 guys fought until this year. In recent memory, no one was in the UFC. None of those guys.
here's the biggest thing I could say. This fight night that happened this weekend, Tybura and Spivak and the rest of this card. I mean,
Yeah.
like you're like,
it's just
what
a
are we doing?
Distribution deal.
It's just to
Like
have
ESPN
it's just
wants
to have
distribution
fights
deal.
on.
content.
And it's also like, everybody. There's a lot of people in the UFC. They got to fight.
No, yeah, I get. That's what I'm saying. Like my thing is, I guess with the pay-per-views, I feel like almost not like we used to get it, but like the 300 card and shit was like kind of that's like what we're looking for. Like you
And
get.
I also
one,
feel like, let's say Tybura, who won that fight?
Spivak, yeah, tapped him
Spivak.
out.
You know, armbar.
Let's say Spivak like had some crazy knockout that went viral, and it was big, and then he fought Tai Tuivasa. I'm just making up names, and he had another crazy knockout they opened up the main card of a pay-per-view, and then he fought Cyril gone and he knocked him, you would be like, oh, now this guy, because we just put him as the main event of some random fight night,
right,
has boosted himself all the way through it's like, you never know. But some of those, when they had like Nama Nunes versus Cortez, I was like, oh, geez.
That's what I say. Like, it's just, there's certain, especially even this card here, like, like Duplessis and Adesanya, and then there's Kai Kara France and Urseg. It's like, that's your co-main event. Like I said, it's just kind of like, yeah.
I like this card's pretty good, though.
Yeah, it's pretty good because we're big UFC fans.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. But
you have Leach opening it up. That's kind of a, one man selling one fight there. And then you got Tai Tuivasa versus Rosenstrike. I like that a lot. Like, I think that would be...
Tuivasa sucks.
Yeah, but he's a fun fighter.
No, of course. I'm just saying...
you got to look at the heavyweight division and go, those are two ranked guys.
And like I said, who's the dude that's the fifth fight, the Chinese guy?
That's Leach. You got, I don't know any other way to say it to you.
Leach? What was that supposed to do?
This is his nickname. That's what he's known for.
Is he any good?
Yeah, he's older now. I mean,
okay.
Remember when Hamzat missed weight?
Yes, and he dragged that guy across the octagon. Was that him?
Yes.
That's how I know him from.
But that's not what I was talking about. But yes, he picked him up,
walked
him over to his corner, walked him over to Dana. But I was going to say when Hamzat missed weight and then he fought Holland, and they switched everything up, he ended up fighting Daniel Rodriguez when he was supposed to be fighting Tony Ferguson.
This guy?
Yeah.
Well, that might have been Tony's last win then, huh?
This guy, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't expect him to.
No, like I said, if you look at the 5 fights here for a pay-per-view, you're going to pay $80 for this. Like Adesanya.
But there's also, like, he's not an exciting fighter, but Gamrot this is like, if he wins this, he'll be like, okay, when am I fighting for the belt?
Yeah, I hate him too.
So do I. He's so boring.
I hope Dan Hooker knocks him the fuck out.
I like that. I kind of do, and I kind of am like, When Arman said that, because he said if Islam can't fight by the end of the year, I'd like to fight for the interim belt.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I'd like to fight either Gaethje, Poirier, or Chandler. I think he wants the sales. Like, he's like, well, it's got to be a big name. But it's interesting because I would argue that Gamrot's more worthy of that interim title fight, than all 3 of those guys now.
Right.
And Gamrot beat
They're
Arman.
Just names,
Gamrot beat Arman by decision, but I think if you watch the fight, I had Arman winning it.
That'd be the worst fight
It's
ever.
kind of one of the, yeah. Well, if you love grappling, that's one of the best fights ever to watch. But, yeah.
I don't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
I don't.
But it was just interesting that he didn't say that name. But when you really look at, I think like people criticize Arman, but he's like, dude, I have to it's going to be a pay-per-view main event. It's going to be me versus Gamrot. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. See, and that's what I'm saying. When it gets to that type of point, like, what's like?
He could have said Charles again.
Yeah, no, that's what
I was.
I said that to you too. I was like, I think Charles is another one that could be in that conversation. I know right now Dana White's just shaking his fist at the air that Belal Muhammad's a champion. Fucking.
Yeah, it's looking bad.
Somebody else became a champion too. That it's like, who was it that just won a belt? And it's like, oh god, hopefully, this doesn't last very long. Let's see.
A girl probably.
Might have been, yeah.
Because it's Pantoja, and then it's O'Malley, and then it's Tapuria, and then it's Islam, and then it's Belal, who's 185.
Oh, what people were saying
DDP,
was actually if Cheeto won it, like he's like there right now. Some of the guys that are fighting for the belt, it's like that guy's the champ.
They said they like Curtis Blades,
Yeah.
If Curtis Blades beat Aspinall, it was like, oh no, look at what we got here.
It's worst case scenario, right? But with that, also, like I said, I just, it was a question that I got. I wish I had the video, but I was like, oh, they're making kind of good points about, are they doing too many events? Because they're like, like this card specifically, it's like, look what you're getting for a fucking co-main, and like the whole card. It's like, it's kind of not like a ripoff.
It's Raquel Pennington.
Yeah.
They were saying her and Belal could actually legitimately headline a pay-per-view as the main and co-main, and no one would buy it.
No, legitimately, we wouldn't do an episode for that either.
No.
I'd just be furious.
Yeah.
But are we ready to make some picks?
Yeah, let's do it.
305, Bill, give us the records for the last card and the year. Last place, idiot.
304. I went 2-3. You both went 3-2.
I said I was going to go 3-2 or better. About 4 cards ago, and
you said 4-1.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
I said I wouldn't be surprised if I go 4-1 or better, but I said I'm going to go 3 or 2 and better. I held myself to 3 or 2, but I held my expectations to 5-0 for talking about that.
Yeah, how many of those have we had?
Yeah, and
I said, how many of those have we had?
I've had some.
You had one recently.
Yeah, but yeah, this will be another probably 4-1 or better for me tonight. But go ahead with the overall record since he wants to rattle off. Let's hear his.
I'm overall 19-16. Eric's 20-15. Danny's 23-12.
We're bad. We're
23-12 is not bad.
That's not good.
I think it's pretty good.
What's it? 35 fights?
Yeah.
I basically win 2 for everyone I lose.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
that's still I said
Going
mine's
2-1.
Huh?
Every 3 fights, 2-1.
All right. Well, with that being said, we have a Leech apparently, even though that's not his name whatsoever. Jing Lang, and Carlos Prates. I mean, if you don't watch that opening up a card, you're missing out because who the fuck? How could you miss? This is not must see TV.
Yeah.
After you pay $80 and you fucking hard earned money, you're gonna watch these 2 fucking morons go at it.
Well, listen, I don't know a whole lot about Carlos Prates. Right?
Nope.
I've seen him fight before. He looked pretty good, but he is younger, taller, longer. He is the favorite. Carlos Prates is my pick.
Yeah, I have to take him also.
Prates.
Next fight, Tai Tuivasa and Jorginho Rosenstrike.
I like this fight a lot, actually.
It's not bad, I guess. I mean,
this fight will be done in the first round.
Yeah, it will be over quick.
This one is one of those that's hard to pick just because it's like who's going to hit first.
Yeah, it literally is. You said it best. Like, it's literally like whoever lands that first dominant hand, basically, is going to knock the other guy out.
Yeah. Bill, who you got in this one?
He's coming off a win, so I'll go Rosenstrike.
Dan?
I'm also going to go Rosenstrike just because the last time I saw Tuivasa, he was literally eating Taco Bell 10 minutes before his fight. So I don't really...
This is where I catch up.
Okay.
Give me the Australian wonder.
It is in Australia.
Tai has lost 4 in a row.
He has lost 4 in a row.
But look at his record. It's literally lose 4 in a row, win 3, lose 2, lose 3, win 4.
Well, he started his career 9-0.
Yeah.
But what do we always say on the
Then
show?
lost 3, won 5, lost 4.
What do we always say
Win
on
5.
this? What do we always say on this show?
You're
either
hot or you're due. He
And
is
who
fucking
the fuck
due.
is more due than Ty? Besides me on a bet of the week,
Tony
who's more
Ferguson.
due? Yeah, he's no.
He's done. He's not
done.
due.
There's a difference, you know. There's
Charles Bennett was due, and he got his after 21.
Yeah, exactly.
Charles Benoit?
Charles Bennett.
Oh.
No, Chris Benoit's dead.
Oh, Chris
Yep.
Benoit.
He's
How'd
been
he
dead
die?
for a while. We won't get into that yet. I mean, this next fight, like I said, this just sucks, man. Gamrot and Dan Hooker. I want to pick Dan Hooker. For my record, I can't, but Gamrot's probably just going to hold him down, and we're going to have to sit there for 15 minutes. This is literally a fight where I'll be playing ping pong. We'll be in Havasu, actually, while these fights are going on. So I'll be playing ping pong and fucking, you know, yelling out some slurs at whoever's won or lost the last fight.
Yeah.
But you got to go Gamrot, I guess, right? I mean,
Gamrot, you know, if you watch Islam versus... I love Hooker. I think he has a... I love Hooker.
I love Hooker.
I love Hooker. Autistic kid that first got introduced to prostitution. But, where was I? Gamrot, when you look at Hooker, he's got heart. Like, when he fought Turner, I was like, Turner's going to beat him. He's coming up. He's taller, he's younger, he's longer, he's this, he's that. His striking's just up to par with this. He literally head kicked him and broke his face, and Hooker won the fight. That was insane.
Yeah.
Like, Hooker has heart. Hooker's a great fighter.
He has some weird fights, though, like against Chandler, where I'm like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
He looked horrible.
Like, Chandler, I was like, dude, Hooker's like, you watch Poirier, and you're like, he's going to beat Chandler.
Yeah, you have to, right? Because it's like...
And then you watch that, and you're just like, well, you were scared shitless.
He was literally standing like this, just like shaking. Like,
yeah,
he was
and
actually
then Chandler
shaking.
threw one punch and knocked him out. And he was just like, threw his gloves off. I was like, what the fuck happened there?
Yeah, I think he was in over his head.
But this reminds me a lot of Islam Hooker, where it was just like, he's down, it's over.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't think it'll be over because Gamrot has zero finishing ability, essentially. I mean, if you can't finish Hooker on the ground,
yeah,
I don't know. But I'll say this. Leech Prates, a quick knockout, and then this fight, this looks like it's going to be a boring fucking night.
That's what I said. You have to pay $80 for this shit?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Gamrot by decision.
Yeah, that's like where, I mean, you obviously were picking the fights, but Gamrot by decision is more than likely what's going to happen here.
Gamrot.
Yeah, we picked a 2 minus 340, guys. Big shocker there.
We do want some good grappling this weekend. ADCC and Craig Jones Invitationals going
the
on
ADCC is in Vegas.
on Saturday.
It's the first time they're doing youth and juniors ADCC. My friend at work that has the kid that fights, he's in it.
What's the thing from Dodgeball? Dodgeball Association of America.
Yeah.
I was going to say, does that interfere with the DDA?
Well, they're mad because Craig Jones is doing his free on YouTube because he says they don't pay him enough. So a bunch of big time guys pulled out of ADCC to do that. And Craig Jones is going against Gabby Garcia.
A woman?
Yeah, but she's like 300
She's
pounds.
huge. She's gigantic.
Huge. And if she wins, she get $1 million. If she loses, she has to do an OnlyFans clip.
Is that real?
Yeah.
What a bet. That is insanity.
That's what needs to start happening is more entertainment.
And then Craig Jones went and bet like $100,000 on himself to win by submission.
How does that work? Those matches, what happens?
So it's like points. So you get points for getting mount, or you get back control. Like you get the
How
back
many
and
rounds
get hooks
are it?
in.
Is
It's
it?
just like one 15-minute match.
It's a 15-minute match. No stopping.
Until you finish, unless you.
What's the
submit
lady's
him.
name he's wrestling?
Gabby Garcia. Yeah, look that up real
She
quick.
is huge.
It's not Gabby Giffords,
No,
the
Oh, you
retired
mean also-
politician and gun control activist.
No.
Okay, Gabby, what's her
that's
name?
who he's grappling against. Yes.
Garcia. Brazilian, huh? What's the what you could so how is this sanctioned? Oh my god, look at those fucking arms.
Yeah.
You said 300 pounds. I thought you meant fat. I didn't think you meant
like
fucking
in the tournament. There's weight
James
classes.
Harrison.
In the tournament, there's weight classes. This is like a special match.
Okay.
Like Craig's not in the tournament.
She would beat mine and your ass at the same time.
Craig go. It's like I don't want to fight that chick, but
I'll fight that one.
yeah, who's that Gabby Garcia?
No. Spelled with an I.
I'll find her later.
But it's just like jujitsu, like grappling.
Just grappling. Yeah.
Do you wear like a gi?
A lot of these are just no gi. Most of it. Yeah, ADCC and Craig Jones is no gi.
So I'm sure you and Pat are gonna be watching that this weekend.
Yeah.
What time is that at?
Just during the day.
It's at T-Mobile Arena.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You're gonna have to do a class on how to drive the boat or something. They said.
I have no idea
Or
what
test?
they're talking about. I don't know.
I mean,
say
they're
shit.
definitely not just gonna let us take a boat into the lake without any sort of.
Oh, that's your boat.
that's what
I
Bob
was gonna buy
said.
like a little skipper's hat, and he'll be like, "Oh, his guy."
Yeah,
knows."
just say, look. Do you think anyone that doesn't know how to drive a boat have this type of equipment?
Yeah.
You think they give these out to people?
They just, you know where I got
And if
this
you talk
from?
to him, you'll. Well, I won't get into that.
Yeah. Do you think they're just handing these out
Yeah.
at the Walmart down the street?
Literally,
like,
you
yeah.
either drive a boat or you are a homosexual.
Yep.
And they're like, yeah, we're looking at it right now, and we went with homosexual. So
Yep.
he's going to have to take the class.
But no, they just said like a tutorial of like what to do, but like how, the
Yeah,
brake and
this
stuff.
is how the wheel works.
Yeah, it's just,
Yeah,
I mean,
no
it's just a
shit.
car on water.
Right.
What are we talking about? If anything, it's safer. No sharks or anything.
How sure are you about that?
Now, this is a good question, actually. What kind of sharks?
They're in
are
Arizona,
there?
Mexican ones.
I meant like bull sharks, like the style.
They're like, come here.
Come under.
Sure, go fishing.
Apparently, there's going to be some fishing going on this weekend. I won't be partaking.
Shane said him and Fred are getting up at 5 a.m. to go fishing on Saturday. Said, how are you going to do that when we're out till 2:30 in the morning on Friday?
They're not
How you
going
guys gonna
out.
wake up for the boat?
That's what I was told. Mom and Aunt Anna said, we're not going to make it to the boat. And I said, okay, well, here's what we'll do. We'll bet if we make it to the boat, you guys pay for the boat. And they said no. And I said, well, then stop talking about it if we're going to make it. Because
Shut your fucking mouth.
I'll be on the boat.
We have to be there at 9?
Oh, we're going to be there at like 8.
I think they're like 15 minutes early.
Oh, I actually thought we were just going to show up late because I was like, there's no way any of us are waking up.
The boat leaves at
The
9.
boat leaves at we fucking
Get a life jacket and swim to us.
we
wherever
what do
the
you
fuck
call
we're
it
at.
when you take the ropes off? We dock at 9.
I think that's it.
We leave dock.
Docking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm being dead serious. I want
We
the
soak
boat.
at 9.
I want the boat for as long as we have the boat. Because
Yeah.
Saturday, I feel like the boat is the thing, and then the fights. So
Can I
like,
shit on the
yeah.
boat?
that's a good question.
Off the boat.
Hang on, guys. Hold that thought, and I just start shitting off the boat.
That's actually a great point.
Because you're going to have to shit in 8 hours.
Yeah, that's what I'm most stressed about.
Wow, I
It's
didn't.
been on my mind.
I haven't slept.
I didn't even.
Booze poos.
I didn't even consider that. Friday, I think I'm not gonna say take it light, but no hard alcohol.
I'll probably wake up early Saturday to have coffee early so I can get that out the way.
No hard alcohol is such a good decision.
Yeah, this Saturday was fucking rough getting home. But I've retired from that.
You could just drive so easily when you just do beer.
Yeah, it's way easier.
I saw a clip. It was like I think it was Family Guy. He was like, "All right, who's sober and take us drive home?" And they all look at each other. And he says, "All right, who's at that drunk where you know you're drunk but you still can drive because you actually drive better because you're aware that you're drunk."
No, like I said, after Saturday, I'm retired from that. I don't know what I'm gonna do for the future, but I was like, holy fuck, bro, that was bad. But anyway,
You threw up too.
everywhere.
Clean the fucking bathroom.
It's clean today.
Okay.
Oh, I was all over my legs and everything. Yeah, it was bad.
Said he said your brother threw up all over the bathroom.
Oh no, really? Oh no.
Oh.
And it smelled so bad. It was bad, dude.
A visitor?
Yeah, a friend.
Oh man, that's tough. That's fucking embarrassing, man. And that's why I always throw up outside.
Yep.
I always do. But I got home.
But let's get into Kai Kara France Stevers.
Yeah, we went. How did we even start?
I was talking about jiu-jitsu competition.
Oh, because we were talking about Gamrot's grappling, and then yeah, I don't know. That still doesn't quite explain.
Then
we still got a little while. What's part of that? I don't know, man.
Kai Kara France versus Steve Ursig. I kind of don't get how Ursig's the favorite here.
Neither do I. I'm taking France no matter who he's fighting. He could fight Jon Jones, and I'd take France. So I'll just tell you that right off the bat. Fuck, I'm really embarrassed now. What did I eat?
Absolutely nothing to worry about.
Oh, I don't care. But
well, Ursig just went to decision with Pantoja at 301.
I would go to decision with Pantoja despite me not fighting and him being the champion.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I'm taking Kai Kara France. I don't know if there's to think about here. The guy's awesome.
I'm also going to take Kai Kara France. I'm not saying Ursig's a back fighter. I think these odds should be this close. I just think they should
be. The one thing that scares me is that Kai Kara France, this guy's 12-2. But when I just look at his picture, look at that guy's body type. I mean,
pussy.
That guy, yeah, he looks like a long, skinny fucking twerp. Well, the one thing that is also Kai Kara France is 5'4", and this guy's 5'8". And
yeah, Kai Kara France is shorter and
he has a longer reach.
Yeah,
that's wild.
He's shorter than everybody he fights. He's 5'4".
No, I'm just saying that's 5'4" is a little person. That is a very little person.
Like Kai Kara France, for instance, he had Marino. Marino got him with a nice liver shot and ended that fight. He's beat a couple other big names. Beat Cody Garbrandt. He's beat like Kai Kara France is a top contender in this, and so was Ursig, obviously. But Ursig kind of just won one fight, and they just gave him the belt. I think it might have been like a short notice thing, like someone was supposed to fight for the belt.
Yeah, I'm shocked that Ursig got a title shot.
I think he wasn't supposed to, but he stepped in or something.
Probably.
Yeah, he fought March 2nd, and then he fought May 4th.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
had to have been. But hey, I always give props to a guy who does that. You know.
Who was Pantoja supposed to fight then?
It wasn't Moreno, was it?
He had just
beat him.
He beat Moreno. Oh, who did Moreno lose to?
We're going far back.
Sorry, go look at Brandon Moreno's most recent loss.
When did you say that Billy he fought? March what?
2nd.
And then May 4th?
Pantoja's actually one of the guys that it's like, he's a very dominant champion, but no one gives a shit because of his fighting style.
And that whole division sucks. What?
Yeah, it does.
Just fucking boring, you know?
Just too small of people.
I just liked Brandon Moreno. He lost to Brandon Royval.
Then I'm wrong.
Maybe Pantoja just wanted to fight on the card because it was in Brazil.
Oh, so they picked something together.
And the only two fighters that were left.
Oh, that's
Ursig
what it was.
And Makayev.
Oh, Muhammad Makayev?
Yeah.
That guy's an
That was
asshole.
the only two guys they could pick between.
No, Muhammad Makayev is... Yeah, you're right.
That guy's the asshole, right?
I was just reading the article. That's the only reason.
I like
see what the most recent thing with Makayev.
He said, I'll come back and fight for free.
He was like, I'll literally learn my lesson. I'll fight for free on the next one if you just have me back.
I don't think Dana really... Is he a needle mover?
No.
The guy
Dana's
sucks
like,
anyway.
That's what Dana probably the whole time was like.
We've been trying to tell you.
With like contract negotiations and stuff, it was like, hey, by the way, bud, who the fuck are you?
Yeah, right. That's why I was so confused because why would he's not very good. The fight was horrible. They were trying to fight before the fight, and then they got in the fight, and literally after the first round and a half, I was like, I mean, this is.
We were literally like, dude.
They were all stopped. Security was in there.
We were all partying,
playing cornhole.
We're stopped what we're doing. We're like, these guys are about to kill each other. After 3 minutes, we were like, let's go play cornhole.
Yeah, I was like,
they didn't throw a punch.
No, they didn't. They were standing there, and I'm like, I get it. There's a little bit. You're gonna fight before the fight. You were gonna run at him, and then you guys now you're able to fight. They're letting you. It's you two and a breath, and you don't engage at all.
Because PFL literally said they were like, oh yeah, he was like, from people in the know, I heard he's the most difficult to deal with, so no, we have no interest in signing him.
Because it's like if it was Israel Adesanya, and it's like, okay, Francis Ngannou, it's like, you know what? It's like,
I know he's difficult.
Are you?
Which, speaking of, Francis is fighting for the heavyweight title in PFL.
Yeah,
but
sweet.
But it's just like it's one of those things where it's like if Jon Jones was like, oh, I'm difficult to deal with Dana, PFL would be like, I heard he is difficult, but he is Jon Jones.
That's Jon Jones.
It's Muhammad Makayev.
I mean, the most difficult person seems to be Conor McGregor in every place. It has him everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere.
And that's the thing, yeah. Is the guy, when he first asked, he was like, who? And they were like, Muhammad Makayev. He was like, who the fuck are you talking
Still
about?
haven't heard of that
And
guy.
then they were like, oh, and he's like, oh, that guy. Yeah, don't give a fuck about him.
What are the odds, would you say? I don't want to say odds, but yes, no, if I had a gun to your head, do you think Conor's going to fight again in the UFC? I'll preface it that way. I mean, it's just
Yes, I think he'll fight again.
I think so too, but it's kind of getting to the point where it's like, dude, what the fuck are we doing here?
Well, his toe was broken. He did show all that, and I don't blame him at his age.
But he gave Rafael dos Anjos shit for that.
Yeah, but I don't. Yeah.
I know it's part of the game.
How many times has he done that though? Where he said something, and then it's like you're putting your own foot in your mouth eventually. Here,
Yeah,
because it's an easy thing to shit talk, which I get, but I'm just saying, I'm like, dude.
I mean, granted, how many times did he show up?
Oh, of course. I'm just saying.
What I was saying at his age now, I don't blame him for being like, I'm not going to lose again, so I'm not going to let anything affect. And like now he's doing the Jon Jones thing, where Jon Jones is like, that guy pulled out, but you want to fight this guy on short notice? He's like, nope. I study fighters. If I have an injury, he said, if I can't fight with my toe tape on, I will not fight. I want to make that clear right now.
Why is that?
Just because he's like, I'm not going to go in there and lose my perfect record because my toe was fucked. I'm not going to lose it because I fought some guy on short notice when I was supposed to fight someone else. I'm not going to lose it because of this, that, and the third.
Because he cares about that more than like Dana White's like, I just want people to buy this pay-per-view and talk about the fight. But at the end of the day, I think Dana White, like if these guys all did this, fought how he wanted, and no one backed out of fights and everyone picked up fights, it's like you just have a bunch of dudes with shitty records because everyone just, not everyone.
Well, now he glazes Jon Jones every time.
He does, but at the same time, he said like a month or a couple months ago, he was like, it was when what was the guy's name that just stepped in like 2 hours notice?
Dan Ige.
Ige. When Ige stepped in, he was like, if you guys remember, like Jon Jones, like that still pisses me off. His camp would not his coaches would not let him fight. But it's like, yeah, dude, but he wouldn't be Jon Jones if he did that.
Ige's not a needle mover.
That's what what I'm saying is Jon Jones wouldn't be Jon Jones if he just took fight, because he'd probably get caught once, and then maybe he's still the greatest ever that people say, but he's not undefeated and not, you know what I mean? Like he said, to Jon Jones, what he cares about is the studying of the person he's fighting and going out and doing that. He doesn't care to be like, I'm headlining New York Madison. He's like, bro, I don't give a fuck about that.
If Stipe pulls out in October, let's say early October, and it still gives Jon a month and a half, and Aspinall says, well, I'll do it, he would go, no.
He won't do it. Yeah. And I don't blame him. Like I said, I'm not going to blame him. I'm not saying that, I think Dan Ige's stupid or Jon Jones is more of a pussy because he won't or he will. That's just who he is.
I don't blame Conor for doing it, but you shouldn't have done all that criticizing.
He talks so much shit now.
He did. It's like he did it at a different. It's like, well, RDA was at that point in his career where he's not.
I think for Conor too. I think if the last fight would have ended with an injury, him going in with an injury, and then obviously this injury, now he's like, I'm not risking this again.
Also, he doesn't look very prepared to fight.
He does. He looks like he's more prepared to have fun,
he was literally in a bar with a midget slamming a beer. I mean,
which is awesome.
I never said it was awesome.
I mean,
but it's not like I don't want that guy to fight.
I'm not putting my
money on guys like that and everything. And I was like, the only person that can do it, you get one a generation, and Jon Jones is that generation, where it's like the guy could go out, probably binge drink, and then show up and fight because of all the film he watches.
It's hard. It's hard when you have that lifestyle and you have the money that he has to just put it all away and go, I'm gonna lock in and be a fucking mixed martial artist again. Why? To make 30? I don't need $30 million, but I'm gonna go ahead. I don't care. You can pay me for free. I just want to prove it. It's like, that's why. What are you doing?
Right. Did either of you pick the co-main event?
No, not yet. I said Kai France.
Kai France.
Kai.
All right, we're all three on. That's good. I thought one of you was going to go Urseg, and that was going to maybe fuck me. Now with the main event, what everyone's paying the $80 to see, because all these other fights kind of suck, in my humble opinion.
I think it's a very tough main event to pick.
I think so too. I was going to say, what do you expect? Adesanya is always better as the hunter, not the hunted. But what do you expect?
I disagree with that wholeheartedly.
Yeah, I don't.
I think.
Well, he was only the hunter for.
I don't think he's ever been the
hunter that long.
Oh yeah, he has been. When he fought Alex a second time, he was in the blue corner, and he was fighting the champ. When he fought Whitaker, he was fighting the champ.
I think we mean in fighting style.
Oh, I mean when he's in the blue corner.
He doesn't move forward ever. He's a defensive counter striker. Like even Alex, he was tucked, getting hunted, and he fucking knocked him out.
Oh, I'm talking about when he's the challenger.
He's the underdog, the dog. No, I agree with you. I agree with that wholeheartedly, because when he was saying who was it? It was Chad Ochocinco, I believe. That was like, do I bet on you or not? And he was like, you don't. He was like, you don't understand how much this means to me. And when I poured into this camp, yeah. And he was like, all this. He was like, I can guarantee your money if you bet on me. Like he was like, I would this is everything to me. And then he went and knocked him out.
Because I think for him, it's more of a thing of this guy has something I want, as opposed to it's harder for him to think this guy's trying to take something from me.
And despite what kickboxers, they fight like regularly, like once a month.
Yeah.
And he's been fighting 4 times a year. So I don't think and he doesn't even cut weight. Like he fought at 193 when he went up to 205. So he does not cut weight.
Really weird.
So like I don't think it's too much of a strain for him to be fighting that much. But I do like probably the most active champion taking a little bit of a break after that last loss and saying, look, I'm in a different place. I need to take a break and like give me myself some time. And then, because, he had a DUI like 3 weeks before that Sean Strickland fight.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, too, is like, like Dana White needs these guys to fight, especially the champions, and especially someone like Izzy. If he wanted to fight as much as he wanted to, he would let him. But it's like, at a certain point, you got to give these guys a break.
And I'm glad he took the break and he's coming back. And I think he lost to Strickland. Strickland, DDP was close. You could have given it either way. But,
yeah,
just because A beats B and B beats C doesn't mean A beats C. And I think this style fits Izzy a little bit more.
Yeah.
What I like about DDP, though, is people will criticize him and shit on him and this and that, but he's going to fight his fight. If they get close, DDP will take him down. Like, he's going to fight his fight. He doesn't give a fuck what Izzy Adesanya does.
I just hope we see a fucking Izzy masterclass and he just fucking knocks him out with like a check.
I don't see a knockout, but I do see probably 3 rounds to 2 Izzy.
I hope so, man. I love Izzy. I think, some of the antics and shit, like, yeah, it's a little weird, kind of gay. Which I don't care if he's gay or whatever.
Right, but it is kind of gay.
He jerks off to whatever strong trick. As long as, like I said, he's not fucking kids or raping people, you can do what you want. It might be weird. We all do weird shit. But as a fighter, that guy is fucking awesome to watch.
Yeah.
With that being said, Bill, who you got in this fight? What are your thoughts?
Kind of took it to a dark place there.
Here. Well, everyone wants to shit on the guy because he wants to. I mean, I think it's weird that people just watch fucking cartoons. These guys are like, oh, anime. And I'm like, I think that's fucking weird. Problem if the guy jerks off to it. He's basically doing the same thing. You guys sitting in a fucking circle and watching it all, just as gay as him jerking off.
Attack on Titan finale. I don't know what you want me to do.
Yeah, exactly. People watch that 3 or 4 times. Okay, he's off tonight. Let's go over there so we can watch it. I'm like, that's just fucking.
Michael's rewatching Attack on Titan as we speak.
Right. That's like me, like, hey, let's go rewatch. If we were fucking Packers fans, let's go rewatch that whole Packers game again for the 5th time where Aaron Rodgers threw that ball down the field. And I did watch Steph Curry's the last 2 minutes.
I was gonna say I do go watch some shit back.
Yeah, but it's sports, so it's not gay.
Okay.
My turn?
Yeah.
What do you got on the main event here?
I do think this is tough.
This is very tough.
Yeah, it's a really good fight.
And it's also one of those where it's like Izzy's taller, Izzy's longer, but DDP's younger. Like, nothing really. There's nothing where jumps out that you go, I have to pick that guy.
Yeah.
What color shorts is Izzy gonna wear? Just blue.
I like the blue.
Yeah, that's good. He's very big on the matching, like the
He's a fucking homo.
color fucking coordination. Okay. God, jeez.
Yeah, Izzy has a 4-inch reach advantage, but I did think DDP seems big for this division.
He does.
Yeah,
he's a
big stocky dude.
fucker.
Like, I feel like 205 would be easy for him to be almost like.
Oh yeah, he could do that. I don't like him against Alex at 205.
No, not at all.
Yeah, I don't like him against Ankalev either, but he could make it weight wise.
Yeah, weight wise, it looks like he has the body.
I think he'd have a better shot than Izzy at 205.
Oh yeah,
way better.
I do too. So Shane was saying yesterday that Alex shouldn't have been fighting at 185, and Izzy's fighting a guy that shouldn't even be in the weight class. I'm like, well, I think the opposite, where Alex made the weight and then was probably 220 the next day, and Izzy's fighting a guy basically out of his weight class.
His chin was depleted. I think Alex shouldn't have been fighting at 185. I think neither guy should fight I think Izzy's literally a 185 or an Alex.
No, I agree, but you can't fight at 185 and say, well, he beat me because I shouldn't have been fighting at 185.
Well, he didn't say that.
You have that choice. Well, I'm saying just anyone.
Saying that. But I do agree with Shane in the sense of like, Alex was not the same fighter when he's way too big for. You can't be 230 and fighting at 185. That's crazy.
Yeah, no,
they're talking about this guy going to heavyweight now.
Oh yeah,
which I don't think he should either.
Well, Rumble did it.
I think he should.
You don't think Aspinall kills him?
No,
I think Aspinall.
I don't think Pereira should go to heavyweight. I don't think he's that big. It's different with Rumble Johnson, where
I think he could go there and put up a fight.
Because you got to think, Pereira's 6'4", then he walks around and after weight he bulks up to 230.
Yeah,
Aspinall's 6'5", which is an inch taller. He cuts weight to 265.
Right. So when he fights, he's
like
when he fights, he's
weighed in at 250 his last fight.
So. Yeah, he talks.
He's weighed in at 265 too. Though
my thing is too, with Pereira, you know what you're gonna get. So I assume his camp with Glover is strictly just takedown defense and grappling, but it's like how much can, even regardless of how great your teacher is, how much can you learn late in your career?
I mean, Corey Sandhagen, I'm sure, has been training grappling
Yeah.
for the last 3 years, and Umar Nurmagomedov
It's the same thing.
I've
It's
done
like,
it for 25.
You can have great takedown defense, but if his takedown is better than your takedown defense,
What are you
then
going to do
take it
about
down.
that? Yeah.
Yeah, but what is better on Tom than Pereira's left hook?
Everything else.
Well, it's all it is.
If he takes him down, that's it.
It's also like his left hook works on 185 and 205ers. That's a big boy.
I'm getting
Sergey
sick of this Tom Aspinall hype,
Sergey
too.
Pavlovich. Well,
Going
get
from
used to
Jon
it.
Jones is scared of him to Jon Jones is ducking him to
yeah, but that's other
he
people
hasn't
saying.
fucking beat anybody.
He's beat
Who
somebody
has
now.
he beat?
Curtis
Curtis
Blades.
Blades
I don't think
sucks.
Tom believes he can beat Jon Jones
Curtis Blades sucks.
I think Tom.
because that
believes
call
it.
out was very like, oh, I like the.
No,
Like,
Tom believes he could beat
And
Jon
then he puts
Jones.
the arm on him to get the distance, and John didn't even allow that to happen. It's like Tom's.
So now Tom Aspinall scared of somebody.
I'm not I'll state it for the 15th time on here. He has not beat fuck all to make me think.
Whose fault is that? It's no fault of his own. He's trying to fight everybody.
Yeah, well,
He's defending his interim.
I'm
title.
just saying
I don't know what Tom Aspinall could do to Jon Jones.
to go from a guy just
think he could
doing
do
what he
whatever he
does
wants.
and doing what Jon Jones doing to say that this guy is gonna
I mean, Jon Jones outclassed DC in wrestling.
right.
When he was 28 years old.
Yeah, I
And
don't
DC
know.
was 38.
Like I said,
But now that those tables have turned, and Jon Jones will be 38, and Tom Aspinall will be 33 or whatever when they fight.
my main
It's a big difference.
second time using the word gripe today is people sitting here saying, "Oh, Jon Jones it looks like he's ducking Tom Aspinall." It's like, bro,
No,
are you
that's
fucking
definitely
crazy?
not. I don't think.
Why the fuck would that be the case
I think
ever?
neither guy's ducking. I understand completely where Jon Jones is coming from, where he's like, if you look at my legacy and everyone goes back 20 years from now, and he's a smart guy. Jon Jones is a lot smarter than people think. 20 years from now, when people look at his record, they'll go, he beat Stipe Miocic at heavyweight after running through the light heavyweight. They're not going to go, he beat Tom Aspinall after.
He'll fight Tom after that. But
You know what I mean? If he
I
does,
mean, if he does it though, like we said,
I don't
it's like,
think
does
he
he want
will.
to train again? Does
I
he
don't
want to
think
risk
he
another
will.
injury, or is
yeah,
he like,
he tore his pec.
I beat
Here's the
Stipe,
thing. That's what I was going to say. Torn pec, 2 years off, 38 years old, heavyweight. He's more of a light heavyweight. He's a heavyweight now. Tom isn't a heavyweight. He's in his prime. He's well recovered from that injury that he had a while ago. He's way more active. He hasn't had 2 years off. I'll take Tom if they fought in November.
What's going to happen if he beats Tom? And then they say, well, now Alex and John super fight. And it's like, can I
know.
retire?
That's
at
what
some
does
point?
suck about
Like,
Jon Jones.
that's what
What
I'm
he
saying.
did is Cyril gone times 10
Yeah.
is what Alex.
There's
him
like
would look
John.
like.
It'll be like one of those things where he's like, I get you guys want me to fight, but like beating Tom Aspinall proves fuck.
Well, that's why I say, like, you know, what if someone said, hey, he's the GOAT, that would be an awesome fight to see. That's the end of the story. It's like, yeah, that would be a cool fight to see. But it's like, yeah, he doesn't want to fight him. And if he doesn't fight him, like, yeah, right when Alex is going to come up to heavyweight because, you know, that left hook. And it's like, dude, at what point does it stop? At what point is it like, you know
I
what?
do like Tom's idea, but Dana said it's not going to happen. But he was like, me versus Pereira. He's like the same night of. He's like, I'll do. I think.
Why would
Pereira
you not do that?
And he was like, in Jones versus Stipe, and the winners fight each other.
I think Aspinall wants that though because he's like, that's
What,
my best
that-
shot because
And it's also
I
money.
can catch John though after a fight. Like he's like, I'm fine. He knows like Jones wouldn't even take a fight on short notice. He's not going to fight two guys in one night.
No, he was
said
saying
two fight. If
no,
two,
no,
the
no.
two in one night.
He wasn't
would
saying
never
a two in
happen.
one night. He was saying we
Like
do
a
a tournament.
tournament.
He was like, and then the winners fight eventually.
I thought it was a one night tournament like they used
That
to
would
do.
never happen.
Oh, I don't think he said that. He just said a tournament. He didn't say one night.
Well, the tournament makes sense. Have a
That's
semifinals.
That's what it is.
Like
But
Bellator
Dana
does.
was like, "Why the fuck would I have Alex fight at heavyweight? Like, why?
Just
He was
because
like, I think he
people-
should just. He's like,
That's the thing.
all this, all that at 205. He's like, cool, stay at 205.
Because
Like,
people do this thing where they're like, well, you know, they make these fights of like, you know, Sean O'Malley and Colby Covington. And it's like, dude, they're in two different
They
classes.
do
Like,
Rey
these-
Mysterio versus the Big Show. Is
Yeah,
what we're
it's
trying
like-
to do here.
Exactly. And it's like, dude, like, let these guys fight at their weights. And if Alex said, I think at some point heavyweight, but the people hear that, and it's like, we'll go up now and fight Tom. And it's like, well,
I think Dana knows there's no other moneymaker at light heavyweight after
Yeah.
Jones left.
my heavyweight
And they
Who's
sucks.
finally got it
Ankalaev
because of Pereira.
fighting?
What?
Who's Ankalaev fighting here soon?
He is fighting. Is it Jan?
It's on that card. They fought. Nope, it's not Jan because they already fought.
Which card?
That big Abu Dhabi card.
Rosick.
Oh, Alexander Rakic. He'll beat Rakic, and then that'll be like, okay, well, I gotta fight Ankalaev now. But I hope he fights before then.
I just, like I said, I don't know where we have with the Jon Jones thing, but it started with, remember, people were saying he was scared of Izzy, and if Izzy came up, he wouldn't know what to do because the kickboxing would be crazy. And then
People just say shit, like they were like, he should come up to 205, and then when the Jan Blachowicz thing happened, he was like, should he come up and fight me at 205?
right,
The same thing heavyweight, he's scared of Nagano, and then
They came out
he
that
fights Gon.
he said yes to every time Dana asked, and then
Yeah,
Ngannou was saying
it's not Tom Aspinall's fault. It's not. It's there's some stupid people out there where it's like Ngannou would do this, like we said, Izzy would do this, Tom Aspinall would do this. It's like, let's not get fucking crazy here, okay? But like of all those, the only guy I would have taken is, I think, if you put a gun to my head and said they're fighting at Madison Square Garden in November, who do you pick? If you get it wrong, I'll shoot you in the fucking face. I would say Tom Aspinall wins.
That's fucking insane to me. That's crazy. I thought if there's one guy of the list, even Ngannou included, I think, after watching the Tom speed, I think Tom's a better fighter than Ngannou. But I still got like that same
Tom can move like crazy.
That same question, I'd say, I mean, bro, someone shows you who they are.
And Tom's not immortal either. I think Tom will fucking lose that heavyweight eventually, just based on what I've seen. Like Curtis Blades got him with a 1-2.
Curtis Blades was fucking hitting
Sergey
him.
Pavlovich got him with a 1-2. Now Tom did. These are guys that we're talking about. Tom finished in 1 minute.
Yeah, of course.
But it's like
Jones tweeted before the fight. He goes, "I watch a lot of film. Don't be shocked if Tom gets dropped and then a ground and pound afterward."
Mhm.
That's what I was gonna
Blades
say.
got him with the 1-2.
That's what I was gonna say. Is people, for one, Jon Jones has a fucking chin on him. Who moves at heavyweight, who moves quite well and probably better. I think the only guy that moves better than Tom Aspinall on his feet at heavyweight is Cyril Gane. How the fuck did that go?
Right. First chance he got
But
a
here's
hold
the
of him.
thing: is Aspinall can really grapple. Cyril Gane cannot.
Yeah, like I said, I think
Also
he got,
bigger.
That's why
Also bigger.
Like the Nagano fight, I was like, yeah, Nagano took Gon down. That's somebody with negative takedowns to 0 takedowns.
Yeah.
So Nagano Jones is going to be what Gon
Yeah.
Jones was.
right.
Like, they're like, he wrestled Stipe. Yeah, he outweighed him by 30 pounds. And Stipe was how old?
No, exactly. Yeah, for you to be who you are and to fight a guy like that,
Which, while we're on the topic, Stipe's going to get fucked by Jon Jones.
Yeah.
what if he knocks him out?
That would be awesome.
No, it wouldn't.
Wouldn't be awesome for Jon Jones fans like us, but it would be awesome for Stipe Miocic.
That would be awesome for him. Yeah, very much would. Be.
Maybe I'm doubting him way more than I should be, but I really don't see a chance for Stipe here.
No, I
When
know.
was the last time he's fought, and how old is he?
I didn't know how this popped. Stipe was probably just sitting at home fucking eating soup or something. It was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Jon fucking
I
Jones.
think all he doesn't have teeth.
Yeah, like why the fuck did they
It's
call
weird that
me
he's from
out?
Cleveland, but he talks like he's from the country his parents are from. Like, I don't understand a word that
Yeah.
man says.
Yeah, it's great.
It's just because the lack of teeth in his mouth.
So let's pick this last fight. Get up out of here.
Which, by the way, I love Stipe.
No, I don't dislike him.
He's
I
hilarious.
just
There's
think,
actually an episode of Tacoma FD because he's a firefighter. He comes in and visit. They're doing like a podcast, the 3 guys, and they're like, "We have to make a shock factor. We'll talk shit about Stipe Miocic." And then he comes in because he's in for the fight, and he's like, "Oh, I'd love to do it with you guys." And they're like, "We have to delete this because they stream it live." And he hears it and comes back and just beats the shit out of all 3 of them.
Jesus. Yeah, I like Stipe. I think he's a good guy. I just think, you're putting a fucking honeyed up salmon in a fucking ring with a
grizzly bear.
bear, and
Yeah.
So main event here.
We really prefaced this picks for this main event. Jesus.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Dricus Duplessis plus 105. He's 21-2, and Israel Adesanya is coming back. He's minus 125. He is 24-3.
I'll say this with all the contemplation. I think we're all 3 going to agree on the same guy here.
Yeah, I'm taking Izzy.
I'm going to take Izzy as well.
DDP.
Yeah,
Billy goes
I
with
knew it.
DDP.
It's one of those where I'm just like,
These are 2 great.
I don't really-
records.
Oh yeah.
I don't really like DDP that much, like, but I just feel like,
There's nothing that is so exciting about him.
and there's nothing like his personality where I'm like, I really like a
there's
Sean
nothing.
Strickland or a Robert Whitaker or even
God, I
like
love Robert.
like
Whittaker.
Izzy. I can see people going either way on him, so this isn't like a personal one. I was just like, this guy did beat the shit out of Robert Whitaker, although Rob said he was slow
And
start,
So did Izzy.
and yeah,
And Izzy knocked him the fuck out.
It's true.
Humped Paulo Costa. I think
Yeah.
it's going to be a really good fight.
I think it will be,
I hope
too.
it's a kind of fucking battle.
I think it will be.
I don't
And
want to see
mean,
us Paulo
like we said.
No,
I mean,
no,
I
say-
think Lizzie's lost like 3 of his last 6 though. Like he seems to be on
Pereira,
the tail.
Strickland,
Pereira, Strickland.
Jan, and then granted that's 2.
Oh, Jan.
But it's like he might be on the tail. I mean, he's kickboxer. They take a lot of beatings.
Yeah,
There's a lot
he's
of
so
fights,
fucking good though.
and he's so good.
God, he's so good.
But it's like,
What's this press conference going to be like Thursday? Are they talk? They hate each other or what?
yeah,
Oh, they don't like
they
each
don't
other.
like each
huh?
other at all.
Yeah, 3 of his last 7. He's 4-3 in his last
And I
7.
think I think DDP can at least do some grappling to do some damage to him too, to get some wins. Like DDP's gonna get some points. He's
Oh
he's
yeah,
gonna-
I agree. I just
And we said it with Izzy, like we're waiting for something. It's like other than the Pereira fight, when have you ever really seen him come out guns blazing in a while?
well, and it's not even because he is a very tactical. Like he is a counter striker, so he doesn't come out and just put pressure on you. But at the same time, he as a counter striker knocked out Robert Whittaker. I mean, he was literally humping Paulo Costa's dead body after he knocked the fuck out of him. I do give him, I don't want to say blame, but Yoel Romero was just shuffle dancing the whole time, and dude, I'm the champion. You know, I do think that was part of it too. The Pereira fight, that one for the first round when he would have knocked him out had there been 15 more seconds left.
Izzy's 104-9 across his professional fighting
unreal
career. Kickboxing, boxing, and mixed martial arts.
And 3 of those losses are one guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which, like I said, Pereira's a dog, you know.
So outside of Alex Pereira, he's 103-6.
Which is unbelievable.
Yeah, that's insane.
Real quick, just rifle them off. I have Prates, Tuivasa, Gamrot, Kai Kara France, and Israel Adesanya.
Yep. I have Prates, Rosenstrike, Gamrot, Kai Kara France, and Israel Adesanya.
Big mistake there.
Yeah.
Prates, Rosenstrike, Gamrot, Kai, and DDP.
This guy's trying to make a move on the outside. That slingshot.
We'll see.
And we got some trivia.
Oh, all right. Hit us.
You know who, real quick, just to say, who I think I'm looking at and I'm thinking about, who got a little too harsh of criticism is Darren Till. If you look at his losses, Derek Brunson in his last, because he lost on a 3-fight win streak, or 3-fight losing streak, everyone says he sucks dick now. He lost to DDP, who's the champ. Robert Whittaker, who's one of the best ever, and that was a fight that almost could have gone either way. He tore his ACL too in the second or third round, and then Derek Brunson. I mean, that you lose to those 3 guys, and they're like, "You suck, get the fuck."
Well, that's why I said too with Tony Ferguson. Once he lost to Charles, he lost to 4 straight guys who were at least contenders, and then the last couple, it's been all right, these guys are old and suck. Mm-hmm. But that type of pounding will put that on you.
Well, Till's 5 losses are Woodley, Jorge, Whittaker, Brunson, DDP.
I mean, that's a fucking list of people,
right? And that was when Jorge was on that run. That was when Woodley was champ. That was for the belt. And also, he's more of a 170 fighter, and he's lost 3 in a row at 185.
He also has 0 ground game.
Yeah, no. If you just look at him as a fighter,
that's what DDP did to him. DDP
WrestleFuck
was like, okay.
You saw that fight live.
Yeah. I was like, I just remember seeing that live.
Boring as fuck. Go ahead.
Those are years of my life. I've kind of.
Yeah.
Most middleweight title defenses of all time. Top 5. I'll give you. This guy's tied with 5th with somebody. Murillo Bustamante.
That was
one
my first
title
guess.
defense.
Yeah, that was my first.
He's 5th.
Okay.
He's tied with somebody.
What is number 1?
There's 6 guys in the top 5.
Number 1's Anderson Silva
with 10.
Number 2 is Israel Adesanya
with 5.
All right.
There you go.
Well, I just wanted to see the numbers here.
So you said tied with 1. So then, no, not DDP, not Sean Strickland. Not Pereira.
Is Whittaker in there?
Nope, Whittaker's not in there.
Really?
Damn, we got to go back here.
Damn, he never became undisputed. He was undisputed.
Frank Shamrock.
No, but there's our old school guy in there.
I'm getting his name wrong. Huh?
That Silva fought.
Yep. Frank something?
Rich Franklin.
He
has 2 defenses.
He said he's the second best middleweight behind Anderson Silva of all time, not Izzy.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I disagree.
I think Izzy would take the shit out of that
one.
Rich Franklin.
So we have Silva at number 1 with 10, Izzy at number 2 with 5, Rich Franklin at number 4 with 2. So you're missing number 3 with 3 defenses, and tied for 5th is somebody with Bustamante with 1 defense. And after that, nobody else has any defenses.
We both know these names. We know.
Yeah, you definitely know these names.
Chuck Liddell.
No,
I was going to say Forrest Griffin, but
Randy Couture is one of those type of guys.
They're one's still fighting, and one's retired now after 2 years, 3 years ago.
Wow,
still fighting.
Not Yoel.
Anderson Silva.
Is it Chris Weidman?
Chris Weidman.
Chris Weidman's 3rd with 3 defenses.
He has 3 defenses?
Wow.
What the fuck?
Anderson Silva was one of them. I don't remember the other 2. Wow, he lost to Rockhold. I thought he lost to Rockhold immediately after Silva.
Well, that's crazy. Mm-hmm. Then this one has 1?
And someone has 1.
Is it Rockhold?
Retired?
No, but Rockhold and him have a connection.
Michael Bisping.
Michael Bisping has 1.
Oh, fuck off with that guy. That guy sucks.
I tend to think Michael Bisping kind of fucking sucks, too.
I do.
I hate that.
That was when that division was
not great.
He beat Dan Henderson. That was his defense, by the way.
Yeah, that guy sucks.
That division was literally, I think that division has 2 lives to it. It has Silva and it has Adesanya.
That's it.
Yeah.
Because Bisping beat Rockhold for the belt. beat Henderson, and then GSP came back from retirement, moved up in weight, and beat the fucking.
You know what I saw
Piss out of
too
him,
recently was a top 10 list, and they had Usman at 10, and I thought, how is Izzy not above Usman?
DC wasn't on there either, was
And
he?
DC wasn't on there either. Which
Usman
come on,
didn't like. What are his defenses?
it's Jorge,
Colby twice.
Colby,
Burns.
and Gilbert Burns.
Yeah,
He was the greatest. I mean, what did we say last? Because we did it last time, and it was GSP. I think had 9 defenses against 9 different people.
Yeah, and he had 5 against 3.
Yeah,
And Izzy, I think, has 5 against like 4 or 5.
That's why I said
yeah. Izzy has 5.
people need to stop with the whole thing of right now of this guy's the best ever and this guy's the best ever and this guy's the best ever when you're watching it happen, because you look now and you're like Belal Muhammad, I hate him, and he said that to Usman. I'm like, yeah, you really didn't fucking beat anybody. I mean,
Yeah.
you
Well,
know,
Izzy won and unified it against
Whitaker.
and knocked him out.
And then he defended against Romero, Costa, Vittori, Whitaker again, and Cannonier.
Yeah, like,
it's a solid lineup.
Yeah. And then he won it again against Pereira.
That's why.
and then
but
he
even
knocked
when-
out Alex Pereira.
But even when he was doing it, they were like, "Is he the greatest middleweight of all time?" I'm like,
like
don't forget, he's halfway there still.
right, that's
Think
why.
about how great of his run was, and he's only halfway there.
That's what I'm
He
saying.
has 8 title wins if you count his interim title fight. And Usman's better than him of all time because he has, 6 title wins
against 3 of the same
3
fucking
different guys.
people twice.
And I mean, Leon's, you can't really give his much credit either because he beat Usman and Colby.
Yeah.
Leon's title
definitely
run,
not in
Yeah,
there,
title
yeah.
run.
he's out. He's lost all
If
respect.
you were going to try to give him one, there's
But
not.
I seriously, when I think top 10 UFC, let's forget mixed martial art, whatever, top 10
Yeah.
UFC fighters ever, I put Izzy and Adesanya in there convincingly. You know, I got
I would
DJ,
say Jon Jones,
DJ,
George St. Pierre, Anderson. No,
That's my top
Anderson
3.
Silva.
Yep.
Those 4.
those 4.
Uh,
I
the
put,
list was MMA, so I think
Yeah,
they had
no,
Habib
I'm not
above
doing
Fedor, and I was like, yeah, Fedor
but
regardless.
we're just talking UFC.
Like UFC,
UFC strictly here. I would
to
go
put
DC
Habib.
and Habib in there as well.
I guess.
You have to.
I would put Izzy in there. And after that, it's kind of like, now you're kind of picking names. Stipe. I might put Stipe in there.
Because Aldo was more of the WEC.
Yeah, you could put Aldo in there too. It's kind of it gets tough after those guys we just
Yeah, that's
named.
what it's kind of like. You know, you got to look at guys who have won shit.
Because
But
then there's people, Chuck Liddell, Randy
I was just
Couture,
gonna
BJ
say-
Penn.
Yeah.
It just sucks because now they were good for when they were good, but like now you just be
Right.
like a 10th ranked fighter.
Right.
Because
Like
these guys,
Murillo Bustamante.
right?
No disrespect to him.
You just defended a title.
There's certain divisions that you look at where it's like guys are already surpassing. Like, I think if O'Malley beats, we talked about it, Davalashi and then Umar, he's the best bantamweight ever.
Yeah.
He's right then and there.
I would have thought years ago it was crazy because how good Dominic Cruz was, but when you go back and look, it's like, unfortunately for him, it is injuries. But what's the best ability?
Availability. And
Yeah.
we're talking UFC. We're not talking any WEC. We're not talking WEC. We're not talking, different divisions, different whatevers, different
Promotions, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like O'Malley would pass his title defenses, would have a better career record, and everything like that. So it's like it's kind of hard
Oh,
not
are
to.
we stupid? Okay, so hold on. You have Jon Jones,
Mm-hmm.
DJ,
Mm-hmm.
George St. Pierre,
Mm-hmm.
Izzy,
Mhm.
Anderson Silva, DC,
Habib.
Habib, Amanda Nunez.
Okay, I was gonna say, are we talking women too?
Oh,
It's
well, yeah,
definitely
they're
men.
UFC fighters.
Yeah,
There's
you
at least
probably
one
have
or
to
two
put-
in
you'd
there.
probably
So
have to
that's
put-
I'm saying that 10 is hard.
You would have to put if we're doing women, which they're UFC fighters, which I agree with. Amanda Nunes is top 5.
Oh, for sure.
Let's do
In
that.
terms of career run.
I was just saying 10 people
But
that are in
also,
that list.
I would put probably Shevchenko in there.
She's in the question.
Whaley's a close one now. There's a few other, but I would probably put Ronda at 10.
I would say Ronda
Ronda had a fucking run on her.
above Usman.
yeah.
Oh, for sure.
The problem is we didn't know what Amanda Nunes was, and Ronda came back to fight her, and that was fucking horrible to watch.
Yeah.
I should have been arrested for putting that woman back in the cage.
Against that,
Yeah.
if you did it against, because you could tell after that loss she was fucked up, and then she came back and she was like, all right, yeah, let's fight. Let's see. And this bitch just hits her 14 times, like she's getting hit by a fucking man, and it's like, all right, hold on a second, what the fuck is this?
You have more?
Yeah, just one more. So this is just males only. Most knockouts of the night awards given. Or one.
Okay.
So it's top 3. It's top 5 because 3 guys are tied at third with 3.
Okay, so most knockout of the night awards given.
Yeah.
Eric Lewis?
No.
Justin Gaethje?
How many? What does the top guy have?
7.
Wow, knockout of the night at the top. Is there anyone on this related to this card?
Yeah.
Is
Not on the card,
Okay.
but related to the middleweight division.
Anderson Silva.
Anderson Silva's number 1 with 7.
I was gonna, yeah, he's.
You should have just bang.
I see. Well, I like to get the question,
Jon Jones?
get the number, and then
Nope.
That's because he's fought so heavily. Knockout of the night. Are they all men?
Yeah, this is only men.
Okay.
I feel like it's gonna be older dudes, like a couple older.
Two
guys.
older dudes.
Yeah, Forrest.
No.
Or Couture or Liddell. Really?
Nate Diaz?
Nope.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Like older dudes, title contenders, or just kind of journeyman?
These two guys lost to Jones during his run.
That's interesting. They both lost to Jones during his run. Rampage Jackson, Rashad Evans,
Lyoto.
Yoda Machida's second with 4.
Yeah, I figured he'd be in there at some point. I was, if you'd rattle them off.
And 2 of the guys tied with third or more were more gatekeepers in the 155 division. But we're like
Cowboy
Cerrone has 3.
Yeah, had to figure he'd be in there. He just fight.
The other guy's not in it.
Not in what?
Not in the UFC anymore. He boxes now.
Mike Perry has to be.
No 155.
Eddie Alvarez.
I was totally kidding everybody. Don't yell at me and say I don't know anything about sports.
He boxes.
Knockout power. Never really did shit in the 155. I wouldn't even call him a gatekeeper.
Jeremy Stevens.
Really? Good for him.
Has 3. And the last one is a guy that Jones beat. He is more of a strike. He was more legendary, like in Pride and everything like that.
Shogun Rua
with 3.
Wow.
There you go. I got most title fight wins here. There's a couple guys we missed here. Well, because Jones is number 1 with 15. Then GSP's number 2 with 13.
That's a lot of title fight wins.
DJ 12, Silva 11, and Silva's tied with Nunes with 11.
So just there, right there, those guys
There's
have
5.
to be in your list.
Those are top 5. We said that was our top 5, and that's the top 5 title wins.
Just because you were on that stage fighting with that, elevation every time.
Yeah, it drops down to 9 right there at 6th. It's Matt Hughes. Then 8, you have a 4-way tie with Randy Couture, Jose Aldo, Valentina Shevchenko, and Israel Adesanya. So if Izzy wins this, he goes into the tied to top 6 with Matt Hughes.
Yeah, no, that's why I said people I feel like have forgotten.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to fucking show you again Saturday night.
There's not enough.
Who does he fight after if he wins, let's say, Sean?
I think Sean right away because Sean just beat Paulo Costa, and that's another.
Give
It's
it
a
Sean,
it's a
and Whitaker
rematch.
beat
It's a
Hamza.
sell. It's a this. It's
Yeah,
also
Whitaker beat Hamza.
if the fight's a 3-2, do you go rematch?
Depending, yeah. But
depends.
what I will say is
I don't like the automatic rematch for the champion unless they had a run like Izzy had.
Izzy should get this. Like Izzy, for instance, he lost the title to Sean
This is in
Strickland.
WWE.
And
where
he's
you get
jumping
automatic
right back
fucking
into a
rematch.
title fight. He deserves it.
That's what Shane said too about it. He said, yeah, then they gave him the next fight against Pereira. I said, the guy was a champion for 5 years.
Yeah.
The first thing they should have done was sign it up. There should have been a rematch clause if he lost.
Also,
regardless.
that's the biggest fight in Izzy's 185 run too.
I'm more disappointed Pereira didn't want to do the rematch again.
The third time?
Yeah.
I think he was like, dude, I don't.
He can't make that cut.
Yeah.
I'm not disappointed in him,
Pereira,
but I'm
it's like,
disappointed
I'm
as
3-1.
a fan. But like, he's like, come on, dude.
Well, also for him, he's like, I'm 3-1 against you. So.
Oh, and trust me, Pereira's like, if you want to come at 205, I'm ready whenever for that.
Because like you said, he is a 205er.
Yeah.
Anything else, Bill?
Here's the thing. I think he fights Strickland as soon as possible, but Whitaker Hamzat is going to be the fight after that. That winner of that fight is going to fight for the title. So
that's what's weird with some divisions. There's like 4 or 5 guys that are clumped in. So if one wins, it's like, does he get the title shot? And then there's like, the fucking what other the like light heavyweight division? It's like, I mean, who's going to fight for the belt? You guys.
Yeah,
all
that's
suck.
one of those tough ones where it's like, you have Ankalaev Rakic, which is going to be a number 1 contender fight, but it's also like Perez just sitting there like, who can I fight?
Right, exactly. But I just hope Izzy wins.
If Hill Roundtree or Hill Olberg had happened, he would be fighting that guy ASAP, but he didn't.
We saw Hill. What happened to
He's
that?
not going to fight Dolidze because he beat Anthony Smith.
Oh, someone should be put in fucking jail.
They should be, yeah.
Yeah, that's bad.
He's fighting for
Anthony Smith he's telling people he's one win away from a fucking title shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy
Literally.
talks too much.
Didn't he get his teeth knocked out?
Like Glover Teixeira.
Yeah. Well, sorry,
Ref was
pal.
picking them up for him.
Yeah, that's bad. You got anything else,
I'm good.
Bill? It's a weird screensaver.
Some rain.
I kind of like it though. Yeah. Other than that, obviously like, subscribe, comment. Let us know your picks for the weekend. No bet of the week on this card. My next bet of the week will probably be week 1 of the NFL season because that's where my bread and butter was last year, and it's not really a coincidence that once it was just baseball that I started to tail off.
Yeah, there's a few bet of the week contending fights on this, but nothing that I like.
I would like Izzy.
My bet of the week will be Ravens preseason next week.
Okay. Next week it's probably being made
This weekend coming.
Well, I guess we'll do the press conference Wednesday, so we'll throw that on there. Other than that, stay safe. Let's go, Izzy, and have a good night.